Do you guys, like, I'm picturing you finish a show because you've been like all over the world at this point, and you know that Paul Rudd meme that's like, look at us. Who would have thought? Look, is that you guys after a show?
Actually, yes. That's exactly what. We're a little more excited than that, but yeah. It's more just like, what? What was that?
100.7 FM, Miami.
This is Y100's
Music Room.
Okay, cool. Well, Mark Ambor, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Frankie, by the way.
Mark, nice to meet you,
Nice
Frankie.
to meet you, too. Okay, so we have this new tradition because you're the second person we interview in this room.
Oh, wow.
That we set up. So we have champagne.
Let's go. Let's go.
I don't know how to open champagne. I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
So I might, I don't know, bust someone's eye out
Yeah,
trying
fair
to uncork
enough.
this thing. So I was hoping maybe you knew.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
You wanna
I could
give it a
probably
shot?
figure it out. I could probably figure
Okay,
it
I'll
out.
let you figure it out.
Is this how we're starting the interview?
This is literally how we're starting. This is
All
how
right,
we
so
start
we're-
interviews now in Miami. We're going to let
We're-
people just do the champagne.
I love the
to kick it
liners.
off.
I have to always like. I just did some liners for the station, and it's always fun saying live from the sexiest place on the planet.
That's like our official catchphrase.
I
down
know,
here.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that we're starting.
The
with
liner
champagne.
thing's funny because you were like, oh, sometimes they just send it to me. How
All right,
many?
I wanna
Oh,
knock
here we go.
someone's
Why
Here
not
we-
the TV? The point-
All right, this way.
not the
You.
window. There's like nowhere to point it. All right.
Hey!
I'm scared.
Oh, here we go. It's gonna happen. Ready?
And nobody lost an eyeball. All right. Wait. Oh, the glasses are here.
Okay.
If I fall over right now,
No.
it's not from drinking champagne because we haven't poured it yet. Look at this. He's a gentleman. He pours it for me first. Wow.
I don't want it to overflow on you.
Yo, you got a bit of a heavy hand. Just saying.
Oh, what am I not supposed to?
Is this not the most Miami thing ever to just drink champagne in the middle of the
cheers.
day? Cheers.
Honestly, I don't know if I think I've been to Miami once before. So
All right, well,
This
welcome
feels like-
back. This
this
is how
feels
we
like
do
the
it.
first
One more
time.
time.
Hey,
Here we go.
cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Let's go.
Welcome to Y100. My boss is watching me through the window right now.
it's good stuff.
Like, really? Who approved this?
It's good.
It was his idea, I swear.
Hide it.
Mark did. Here, let me put it back.
All right,
Let's
yeah.
keep chilling it because I feel like my boss is going to want this after.
I mean, should I put it on its side?
I don't know. You picked the worst people to mess around with
We're good.
bottles.
We're good.
Okay, close bottles. Here we go. Put this down real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna put this down too.
No, you can hold on to it. You're welcome to keep drinking all you want. But anyway, so Mark Ambor joining us today. Super excited about this. I heard your story, how this all kind of started in like a basement, which I think is kind of wild, kind of crazy a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What was that moment where like the switch flipped and you're like, I got to do this. This is what I want to do.
Yeah, I think so. What happened was I started playing piano at an early age. My mom had me take lessons, and I had a point, summer going to college, where I felt very lost. I didn't want to go off to school. I love where I'm from. I'm from a small town in New York called Pleasantville. It's like an hour north of New York City. And my friends are still my best friends from there. I didn't want to leave and start this whole new reputation at school or whatever. So whatever reason, I sat down when no one was home and tried to write a song at the piano. And I wrote it, and I went to work that night. I was a bar back at a local bar, and I sent in a group chat to my parents the song I had written. I was proud of it. They'd never heard me sing at that point. They're also a bit older. I'm the baby of the family. And a few hours later, my mom responded like, hey, who's this artist? Dad and I love this song. And I was like, Mom, it's me. And she was like, what? And that was kind of the start. And throughout college, the passion grew, and then basically got to a point in 2020 where COVID was going on. I had no social pressure to do anything else but live out kind of what I have always kind of wanted to do, especially as that passion developed in college of making music. And I kind of just took the opportunity to write as many songs as I could and, make a TikTok, and that started doing well. And I met a manager, and I chose to work with him and small label stuff and all that stuff. And it's just been working hard at it since then. So I guess there wasn't really a definite moment where I totally committed, but I think in 2020, I told my parents I need 6 months to try music or I'd regret it for the rest of my life. And that's what I did. And I guess I just kept going, and now here we are.
My favorite part about that story is that you said you sent it to your parents and they didn't answer back for hours.
Yeah, it took
was
a
it
few
like that
hours.
moment where you send like a text message? You know what I'm talking about? Like a sketchy text message. You're like sweating. You start doing dishes to like distract yourself. You're like, what's happening?
Or you like go drive or something. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It actually was kind of like that. I was like,
Was
what
it
did they
nerve-wracking?
think? Did they listen and didn't like it? They're figuring out what to say. Like,
And in reality, they just didn't even realize the phone rang because they check it once every like 3 business days.
pretty much. Exactly.
The song, by the way, was Belong Together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't the song
not
I
the
sent
song,
to them. But yeah.
The song that blew up was Belong Together.
Yeah.
Do you ever go and look at like the TikToks that people make with that song?
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, they're pretty wholesome, to be honest.
Is there one that stands out that whenever you think of TikTok and that song, you're like, yo, this one person did this video about this, and it's stuck in my brain. It lives rent-free in my brain now.
Some of the early ones I remember, like, because I just saw them go viral early on before people were discovering the song, and I was like, oh, I love this person for doing that. Like you're awesome. There's been cool ones like about just places, like so it would be like you and me belong together, like Greece or something. It'll be like these beautiful like videos of Greece, which I think are cool. I know I'm trying to think of like a dirty one, but I can't.
No, all your songs are so wholesome. The album's so wholesome. I'm like, how could anyone make anything dirty out of that?
I think there was a dirty reel one time. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like it was.
I need somebody to send that to us at Y100 Miami.
I feel like I think he sent me it or he showed me it. Oh, it was very funny though. Yeah.
Speaking of which, you were pointing at somebody in the room. Is this one of your day ones that you talk about all the time?
Yeah, one of. This is Alex. He actually just asked me to not talk about him during interviews.
It's okay.
No,
it's okay. We won't talk about Alex. 6 foot tall, handsome guy.
Very handsome.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
He's in my band, and he's been here from the beginning, and yeah, he's a good friend. And
do you guys, like, I'm picturing you finish a show because you've been like all over the world at this point, and you know that Paul Rudd meme that's like, look at us. Who would have thought? Look, is that you guys after a show?
Actually, yes. That's exactly what. We're a little more excited than that, but yeah, pretty much just like, how did we get? What's going on? Or actually, it's more just like, what? What was that?
But what do your friends say about it? Because they're like on this ride with you. They've been with you since you started this. Like, what do they, not when they're roasting you, because know your boys are your boys when you finish the greatest show of your life and they're like, bro, your fly was down the entire time. You know what? Like, what do they, when they're like having a heartfelt moment, what do they actually say to you?
They're just proud of how far it's come, because a lot of them were there from the beginning, and just that they're excited that they're part of it, and yeah, it's that stuff. And
you guys getting kicked out of places since you're all together all the time on tour?
Sometimes. I think sometimes we're a little loud, but for the most part, we're pretty good. We're pretty good.
He's lying. Y'all are definitely getting kicked out of hotels and stuff. I can already tell.
I'm honestly surprised we don't get more complaints than we do for how loud we are. But
by the way, congrats on the new album, Rockwood.
Thank you.
I saw that it
Thank
dropped
you.
the same day as the Post Malone album. Was that like terrifying knowing that it was going to be the same day?
Yeah, I was like, this guy. No.
This unknown artist, Post Malone, dropped an album at the same time.
Climbing the charts. It's so weird. No. He's I love Post Malone.
Yeah.
So it's just cool. I mean, I was just super eager to get more music out with this batch of singles that I had with Good to Be Belong Together. Hope it all works out in our way. Like so it feels really good that it's out in the world, and honestly it feels good how well it's been received so far and how people are listening to it. And,
Well, I saw you posted on your Instagram story that it was like debuted at the top right next to Post Malone. I'm like, that's big, dude.
Insane.
Were you, what was like your reaction to that when you saw it?
I don't know. I was just like sitting there just in shock pretty much. I like, there's been so many crazy things and cool things and like things that I've always dreamed of that have happened these past few months that it's just, I don't know. It's just like insane. I don't know. It's hard to process it.
Have you like achieved all the goals you had back when you started this in like 2019, 2020?
Not all, but
okay.
I think a lot of yeah, I mean, it's really cool that I have a song that's on the radio and circulating around the world, and that I get to go on tour, and that the whole thing's growing. That's what feels the best.
I asked because at around like the age of 26, I had achieved pretty much all the goals that I had in mind when I was like 18, and I had what's called a quarter life crisis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was curious, like, have you sat down and gone, man, I already accomplished this and this and this. Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Have you had that moment?
I haven't yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I keep having goals to achieve, but I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah. I feel like I'm every time I do hit a goal, I'm just like, okay, I think of like the next one in that space. And I feel like, I don't know, it also kind of drives me crazy though, because, you just
you
never feel like you're fulfilling the things that you like take a second to appreciate that you got to that point, and then you just have the next goal in mind, where I feel like sometimes I'm not present with the fact that I had achieved
You're not appreciating
something.
the moment. You're just looking for the next thing.
Totally.
Yeah, that's definitely part of maturing. You get to that point where you're like, I really got to enjoy these moments. They're big. Big moment, though, the new album. Talk to me about the name, because I know it's important to you.
Yeah, so Rockwood is the name. Rockwood, I talked about how important home is to me. Rockwood is a park that me and my friends would go to growing up. It's near Pleasantville. It's on the Hudson River in New York, and it's this beautiful like whole like landscape that used to be a Rockefeller property. And it's a place you go to watch the sunset, drink, smoke, I don't know, like make out. It's a place where you just go to
all these illegal activities. No,
all these it's you basically just escape when you're there, and it feels like an escape, and you're with people that you like and appreciate, and the weight of the world falls off your shoulders for a minute. And I think my goal with this album is when people listen, I hope they feel that sense. I want people to feel good and feel heard and feel part of something bigger. Like that's the reason I fell in love with music, and plus Rockwood being a really important part of my upbringing and home and my friends, and it all just felt like it had to be the album title.
What's the writing process for you? Because, some artists like to just strum 3 chords and like, I can build something from this. Some come up with a riff. Some got like a melody. Some start with the lyrics. How do you start most of your songs when you're getting started in that like writing process?
For the most part, it's me alone in my bedroom, strumming, finding chords on a guitar or piano that I like. And then I'm sure you've seen those like Taylor Swift videos of making of like Reputation or something. I like mumble for a while until like a word or a phrase comes out that I latch onto that I like. And then I kind of start building around that. And what ends up happening is from that word or phrase that randomly comes out of whatever melody I'm humming, I basically start building a song that feels very subconscious. It's like, it's just, I end up looking back at the song and being like, that is kind of how I feel right now, but I wasn't thinking going into this that I was going to write a song about that. It's very therapeutic.
What was the toughest song for you to write for this new album? The one that like, it had you in your feelings. You're like, I know I got something good here, but this is like you said, therapeutic. Like you're getting a lot of stuff out at the same time that you're writing this. Yeah,
I think one of the tougher ones was the last song on the album called My Love. It's a song about home and how important that is to me. And it's just basically a love song, but it's specifically about home, and the verses are about like things that that remind me of home, growing up around. And that one took a while. I took a while I rewrote those verses a few times to get it right, because I don't know. I feel like it could be cheesy, and I don't want it to be too cheesy. I was like spending a lot of time trying to make sure it was saying what I wanted it to say, but also felt like the end of the album and pay tribute to home, but also like it wasn't so obviously about home where people like can't relate to it on their own.
Is it that song you start to feel homesick when you're like singing on stage live because you start thinking about home?
I'm hoping. I haven't sang it yet live, but I'm excited for that one live. That one's loud.
So for the tour, I'm glad. Let's get into the tour. With the song like Belong Together, for example, where do you put that? The beginning, you kick off the show with it, just like a high note, you put it at the end. Do you do it like some hip hop artists do? They just do it like 6 times in the show. They're like, we're going to do it again. And it's like, we already heard it 5 times, bro. Like,
sure.
How do you like plan that?
I mean, I think Belong Together is going to be towards the end, if not the last song. I think on the last tour we just came off of, Belong Together had just been released, so I'd play it here and there. And by the end of that first tour, and it was in spring, people had all known the song. It was like kind of really doing well by the end. And a few times there was the recorded version we would play live, and then I would sometimes take it and I'd go out in the crowd and we would sing it acoustic together just because it was a really cool moment. But yeah, we put Belong Together towards the end of the set.
Okay. So now you got to stay to the end. Don't be trying to beat the traffic.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay to the very end.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people do that, right?
No.
Actually, as an artist, if you see that happening in the middle of your show, do you start to like panic because you see people leaving?
Oh,
like,
no. Sorry, I just saw
that's the
like,
sizzle reel they sent us.
Oh, someone else made that.
You haven't seen this?
I don't think so.
They sent this to us. It's actually really cool. I started getting emotional watching this video.
Oh shit! Oh man. Okay, let's talk about something else now. No wait. What was
I was saying, when you are like on stage, you see people leaving because they're trying to beat traffic. What goes through your mind? Does that affect you, or you're just like, oh, I get it. They're just
sometimes affects me.
Yeah?
Yeah. If they're leaving, well, luckily we've been saving the big songs for the end, so people don't want to leave until then. But I think sometimes you get distracted when people are like walking away or something. But at the end of the day, like, you just got to focus on the people that are locked in on you and make eye contact with them and enjoy that moment with them.
Talk to me about these, the tour specifically. Like, I saw you do covers of like Coldplay Clocks. You did one of like Party in the USA at a show.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to top those like little extras you did for this upcoming tour?
Yeah. So we're building out the set right now for it. I'm unsure if we're going to include a cover this time, thinking about it. But the reason that we did that last tour is because at the time, the reason that tour was set up was for a song called Good to Be that did really well, which is the first single off of Rockwood. And I wasn't sure other people would know the rest of the songs. They ended up knowing all of them, which was insane.
Wild.
But
right?
The reason I put a cover in there is because we went out in the crowd, me and most of the band, and we would sing and we would try to get everyone. And like what ended up happening was I chose Party in the USA and those big songs because everyone knows those words. So we'd be in the crowd and everyone would be like screaming like, "Yeah!" It was like
he's winning hearts over the easy
so much
way.
fun. That's why we had them.
No, it's a great idea. I actually love when artists do like their own version of a song that people already love.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's something that you ask for that's like super ridiculous for your upcoming tour? Like we all hear the joke like, "Oh, I only want green M&Ms in my."
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like what's on your rider that you're like, I'm almost embarrassed to tell people this is what I want, but I need to have it at every show.
Gotcha. Yeah. To be honest, I haven't become annoying yet. Like that?
Like I said, yes. There's like not yet. It's coming.
Oh, he's making a face. Maybe I have. No, what we always ask for sour gummy worms. It's kind of just become a tradition. Not weird at all.
Easy.
But
That's
like
not weird.
I mean, we're not I'm still very appreciative for everything that's going on. I don't want to be some jerk that rolls up.
He's
to
like,
the
I'm just
venue
happy they put a tent in the parking lot for me so I could change. This is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we get the basic stuff. I think just we always have gummy bears though, or gummy worms or whatever.
Now, I do have a bone to pick with you. You're a very nice guy, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at the tour dates. And I'm not seeing Miami on it. Oh, he knew it was coming. Look at him. He's like, oh, I almost got away. No. So, and it's weird because I'm noticing a trend. Like Benson Boone didn't add us to his tour dates. Sabrina Carpenter didn't add us. So I'm curious, what is it? Is it the Hurricanes? Is it the Alligators? Is it Florida Man? Do I need to get you security to come down? Like, what is it going to take to get you down here?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, it's my agent and manager that decide this stuff.
He just deflected the blame to somebody else.
Pretty much. But I mean, I love it here. I haven't spent too much time in Florida, but I'd love to get down here. I think also what happens is you guys kind of like, you guys jut out.
Yeah.
So in order to, you can't go through you. You got to go
Generally,
in
people start
and you got to come
or
out.
end here.
Yeah. So it's the same with like up in Maine or the Northeast.
Yeah.
Like you got to go in to go out. So I don't know. But honestly, I would love to be in every spot at all the time. Just meeting fans that care about the things that I make. It's so cool.
Well, we want you here. I'm going to ask you another question. And I'm going to start by saying this is probably a question you're tired of answering, so I'm not going to ask it. But when you do an interview, how many times people go, so who would you like to collab with? How many times have you been asked that already?
A good amount.
And you're like, bro, if Beyonce walked in here and offered me a collab, obviously I would say yes. Like, what do you want me to say, right? So instead, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to give me something that you wish you could talk about that nobody ever asked you about. Like if it were me, while you think about, I'll give you an example. Like if for me, I got 2 wiener dogs. I could sit here and talk about my wiener dogs for like 3 hours, right? I could do a whole dissertation on it. What's something that you wish people would ask you about that you could just go off on?
I mean, there's a bunch of weird things. I'm just trying to think like in terms of.
Give me the weirdest one. The weirdest one.
Okay. Well, okay. I have this. I've gone on deep. No, it's gonna make me sound.
No, do it. I feel like you're about to pull out like a conspiracy theory about something.
I'm not. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's I go down deep YouTube holes about whales all the time, and I could get so into this. I think whales are just the coolest.
Killer whales, orcas,
all of them.
What are we
Humpbacks,
talking here?
They're all so cool. Like, first of all, I want to go.
Boy is facepalming. He's embarrassed.
I know
because
I've talked about this with him. Like, whales are the coolest animals. I mean, I could really go down a deep hole, but Anyway, yeah, I could say something more normal. I love hanging out with
No, the whale one is great. The whale one is great. You set it up. That's good enough for me. Now I can tell people that dude is obsessed with whales.
Yeah, I am obsessed with them.
Okay, last question. And this one's more for me than anything. And I feel like you get this a lot. People look at you like, man, that is a good looking dude. Are you like mewing every day? Like, are you doing like vocal warm-ups and then also, you know what mewing is? It's where you adjust your jaw so it's like nice and sharp and looks good on camera.
Oh, no.
Because I'm looking at yours and I am now like self-conscious about mine not looking as good. So I was curious, like, what's the secret here to look that good?
Oh man, I don't know. I just try to eat well and take care of myself. I don't know.
I was waiting for him to be like, you know those like gummy things you put in your mouth and you do like 50 reps? I was like,
No.
if he's still, I'm gonna buy like 20 of them.
I have thought about gouaching, but I haven't.
Gouaching?
Gouache? Do you guys know gouache? Like
Oh,
that
the
thing,
little
like-
stone thing?
Yeah, but I haven't done it.
Are you lying to me? I feel
I'm
like
not.
you already
I'm not.
do it.
No, I'm not.
Are you gonna have your own line of
My
gouaches come out?
ex-girlfriend did it a few times to me, but honestly, it kind of hurt. Maybe she's doing it too hard. Maybe she's mad at me.
Well, that's why she's your ex. She probably didn't like you, and that was her taking her anger out on you.
Whoa.
All right, bro. Well, listen, Mark Ambor, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Come on.
Want to toast one last time?
One last toast?
One last one.
Okay, cheers.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks
Rockwood,
for coming
Y100.
by.